like a Hellcat.
Center Inquiry Project, first we must tell you what NAFTA is. The North American Free Trade Agreement is an international agreement signed by the governments of Canada, Mexico, and the United States, creating a trilateral trade bloc in North America. The agreement came into force on January 1st, 1994. The goal of NAFTA is to eliminate all tariff and non-tariff barriers of trade and investment between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or the USMCA, which was signed on November 30, 2018, and went into full force on July 1st, 2020, resulting in the creation of millions of well-paying jobs in all participating countries. Most economic analyses indicated that NAFTA was beneficial to the North American economies and the
How has NAFTA affected the trilateral nations individually? For Canada, NAFTA has been overwhelmingly positive. Its positive effects on the Canadian economy has been evidential. It's opened new export opportunities and added significant stimulus to build internationally competitive businesses, and has helped attract significant foreign investments. Even though the U.S. NAFTA has increased U.S. trade deficit, it has still benefited the U.S. economy by increasing exports. NAFTA increased imports of products Canada and Mexico have cooperative advantages in, but at the same time, it increased exports of what the United States does best, like services. Mexico, following the NAFTA agreement, Mexico made it profitable for USA multinational corporations and manufacturers of goods in America. NAFTA made that possible for them. They increased exports to North America without tariffs. This allowed Mexico's diversitize its exports in the economy and shift away from oil significantly.
The four key pieces of evidence regarding NAFTA are: number one, NAFTA boosted trade by eliminating tariffs between the trilateral nations. The goal of NAFTA is to eliminate all tariff and non-tariff barriers of trade and investment between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Because of the elimination of tariffs, trades exploded between the trilateral nations. According to a Congressional Research Service report prepared in 2017, the act has more than tripled trade between Canada, Mexico, and the United States since it was enacted. NAFTA lowered prices of U.S. oil. Imports from Mexico cost less because NAFTA got rid of tariffs. That reduces America's reliance on oil from the Middle East. Low cost of oil reduces gas prices, which reduces transportation costs, and also food prices are lower in turn.
The second key point of NAFTA is how NAFTA affected North America by creating jobs domestically. Many companies in North America did subsequently move their manufacturing operations to Mexico and other countries for lower labor costs, which created jobs in Mexico in those labor manufacturing, and those companies were able to grow because it was lower labor costs. There were some loss of manufacturing jobs in the States due to this when they were moving to Mexico for the better cost. They obviously are moving, so they lose the jobs in the United States. What NAFTA also did was it opened opportunities for small businesses, and it leveled the playing field because these small businesses had an opportunity to thrive from firms in Mexico and Canada to get more close to the American standard of money. NAFTA agreement directly supported 5.4 million jobs, while trade with these countries supported 17.7 million. So it was a big growth. It was a lot of growth in that period when NAFTA was a thing. There was a lot of growth because there was just more money to be found, to be had. My third point about why NAFTA was so influential in the world, or in North America per se, is how NAFTA created foreign investments between the trilateral nations involved in the agreement. According to this study, NAFTA increased the direct foreign investments through Mexico and Canada. Foreign investments help with relationships between the nations, and So FDIs increased in Mexico by 150% in the time period of when NAFTA was active, and FDIs increased in Canada by 44% in just 1998 alone. So as you can see, NAFTA was very involved in FDIs throughout the nation, and that is of course foreign direct investments.
Fourth piece of key evidence regarding NAFTA is NAFTA has also contributed to rising income inequality. Oil companies expanded and showed up all over North America, and this forced jobless Mexicans to cross the border illegally. In fact, NAFTA has also contributed to rising income inequalities, suppressed real wages for production workers, weakened workers' collective bargaining powers and ability to organize unions, and reduced fringe benefits.
And of course, as every agreement has, there are winners and there are losers. And the winners in NAFTA was the U.S. economy, as they grew almost 0.5% in a year. Reduced spending for governments also was an occurrence, and that obviously government would be considered a winner. And costs lessened in the United States during NAFTA. So United States residents, all winners.
And as Joe said, there's winners, there's also losers. One of them being the U.S. President Donald Trump, who railed against it during his campaign, trying to tear it up. He was not a fan of the agreement. Mexico, the United States, and Canadian farmers, a lot of them went out of business. Mexico's environment deteriorated, unfortunately, and it forced jobless Mexicans to cross the border illegally. So overall, a lot of people from Mexico took a hit, and U.S. President Donald Trump, not a fan.
Thinking right now, Joe and Jack, is NAFTA even still a thing anymore? And effectively, NAFTA isn't a thing anymore. It was replaced by the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or the USMCA as it's known in the biz, on November 30th, 2018, and it went into effect on July 1st, 2020.
In conclusion, NAFTA affected North Americans by making trading easier between the three countries, creating more jobs, it created foreign investments between the trilateral nations, and it contributed towards rising income inequality.